Hello, everyone. It's Mark here. I'm the founder of the Arts and Culture Network, and I use these little video moments to keep a track of how many people we've got in our network, and we're currently over 77,000. And what is it now? It's September. So, but this is the big fun bit for me, where I get to put a name to a face and meet one of our full members. So, Sue, thank you so much for joining me to do this.
Hello, everyone. Nice to see you, Mark, in person.
Great. I should come clean and explain that we've just had a hilarious chat for half an hour. I'm really
Talking
I really
about
wish
high art and punch buggies.
yeah, and spiky audience development opinion
Oh God.
thrown in. It was brilliant. So Sue, you're an arts a sort of arts planning guru, aren't you?
Yeah, art marketing consultants.
Arts planning and marketing consulting, yes. And classical music, arts, Toronto area at the moment.
Theater, dance, all of the performing arts.
Excellent. So give us an example of a project you're working on at the moment, for example.
Right now, I am the marketing consultant for the Oakville Symphony. I'm helping them create a marketing strategy and execution for this particular season of theirs. They have a wonderful new conductor and some wonderful new work. We want to get it out to more people than have been coming in the first place because, oh, do I have to say the C word? COVID. We're trying to bring those audience numbers back up, right?
Don't get me started. Don't get me started.
And I'm also working with Toronto Dance Theatre, who is the original provocateur of modern dance in Toronto. They've been around since 1968, also working on their marketing strategy for the next season.
Brilliant.
And
I think you and I came up with a nice phrase, didn't we? Let's get people out of their houses into ours.
exactly. And I also teach at U of T arts management, particularly marketing and social media. So trying to get more young people interested in sticking with the arts and how to market it well.
Great. Fantastic work. Very valuable work, because if we don't have audiences, we don't have anything.
If we don't have younger arts marketers, we're all going to do this till we
Remind me to tell you about minimalist marketing.
Okay, I'd love to hear about that.
Yeah. Okay, so what I'd love to do as a bit of so wherever this appears, there'll be links to you and to your LinkedIn and anything else that might work in that profile page. So okay. So that's great. Thank you so much. It's great to have you as a full member. But now we're going to do the arts and culture hot top 10, so people can get a bit of a feel for you and what lights you up, if that's all right. So I'm going to give you 10 different art forms, and I'd like you to let me know if you have a favorite in any of them, and if so, why. And this always sparks a surprise in my experience and an anecdote, and you and I have already done anecdotes of this evening.
All right.
So okay, right. Sue Edworthy. Sue Edworthy, do you have a favorite building?
Yep, I do. I have many favorite buildings. Toronto has a ton of gorgeous architecture. If I had to bring it back to arts and culture, it's the Artscape Wychwood Barns. Artscape Wychwood Barns used to be a streetcar repair facility, because we have streetcars in Toronto, from 1913 and 1931 for the TTC. And Artscape took it over in, I believe, 2008. This is when I was working there, and redid it. It's a designated heritage structure, and they rebuilt it from the point of soil remediation because it was a brownfield. You couldn't live there. Everything that was done to it was done with recycled or reused properties. And it now has spaces for 26 artists to live and work, 9 not-for-profit arts and environmental organizations, and a 7,000 square foot event space in the second bar.
Love that.
So to go from this awful old falling apart property value dropping thing to this absolutely gorgeous creative hub. Yeah, it was a great deal of pride working on that.
That's fantastic. I'm not sure if it's a global or a UK-based organization, but No Empty Spaces is you've probably heard of them. doing some great work as well. You've reminded me for some reason of the Michelin building in London. The Michelin building was a tire factory, and it's now a wonderful Art Deco restaurant, probably 1930s built. But the strange thing is, the floor slopes down towards the road in this building, but only probably the drop is an inch from the back of the store to the front, probably 100 meters.
Wow.
And that's because they used to, when the tires were ready to go, they would just put them there and they would gradually roll down.
Oh, that's fantastic.
To the customer who's parked out down up there, but it would never be very fast. They just put them there.
Wait for it.
Yeah, and it comes. Brilliant.
No, it's absolutely true. I don't know if you're familiar with Jane Jacobs. She's an urbanist, a wonderful Canadian urbanist, and her sentence that old buildings need new ideas.
Yeah.
There it is. Yeah.
Yeah. Love it. Excellent. Now, do you have a favorite book?
Oh God, I read a lot. I really do. Right now, I'm in the middle of about 4 different books. You know, one is blank on a favorite book. No, I can't say I have a favorite, because let me put it to you this way. When I first got my job at Opera Atelier, I'd gone from being a bartender to being unemployed to working at an opera company. And when I got my first paycheck, the first place I went was Chapters, the bookstore. And I spent a good 2 hours luxuriating, and finally selected the 3 books I was going to buy. And I brought them up to the counter. And she said, "Would you like a bag for those?" And in an absolute Freudian slip, I said, "No, that's okay. I'll eat them here." So that's that's how I feel about books right now. I'm going to my library list. You've made me realize I have to at this moment to find out what I've been reading. Reading.
I got halfway through. Is it Ulysses? And
yeah.
then, yeah. The problem was I got halfway through it and then I put it down because I really struggle with lack of what is it? Oh, it has no commas or full stops or
punctuation.
That's the word. Yes.
Yes, that's why I stopped reading it. Now I'm waking up to that.
Yeah. So I got halfway through it and I started reading it backwards accidentally because I would pick it up before falling asleep. Right. I'd look at where my page mark was, and I need to go back 4 pages to remind myself where I'd got to, and then I'd read 2 pages and put it down. Right. So the next,
love it.
Open it up again. Oh, right. Okay. Don't remember that bit. So I'd go back 4 pages and read 2.
This happened.
I was gradually working my way back to the beginning of the book.
Yeah. Oh my God. Was it any better?
No, it wasn't any better. I still haven't.
Yeah, right.
Right. Given your polymathic approach to the arts, which I love, do you have a favorite dancer or dance group, or if not, dance style?
I have many. I've worked with, the exciting thing that I get to do when I work with dancers is that I get to work with so many different types. I've worked with literally everyone from classical dancers from the Baroque style with Opera Atelier to working with the DTRC, the Dancer Transition Resource Center, where we were focused on hip hop and b-boys. And the idea of any kind of movement enchants me. I've worked a lot of contemporary dancers as well. The idea of movement enchants me simply because I can't do it. It's the experts make it look easy, right? Mm-hmm. But if you think about someone like Danny Grossman, who was recently passed, people just creating from the beginning of their, they're it when they become an icon unto themselves, and you know that person, but they're also an icon. Danny Grossman, Twyla Tharp, right? These magnificent creatures who are able to convey that sort of information with their body without even speaking. Yeah.
Love that. Now, this one's quite tricky. I want you to imagine that you've been exiled from Canada for some unknown misdemeanor. But you can choose where you're going to live based on your perception of that country's culture. Where might you be drawn to?
Paris. Yeah.
Not just France. Got to be Paris.
Paris. It sounds trite, it sounds cliche, but it's so does if you want to say New York City, right? Or Berlin, because all of these places have such, oh, it's delicious, right? Have such incredible history and culture and beauty to them. You
Mm,
know, you go to France, you can see anything. You can go to Chateau Versailles and see an opera at the Opera House that was built for Marie Antoinette, right?
mm,
If
mm,
you go to New York, it's a Tuesday night. You went, what did you do? We went to some show. It was my girlfriend's sister's show. It was in a, broken down bean can factory in Tribeca, but you went, right? And for me,
mm.
it's the idea, not even so much of the art they have, but the fact that people go to it automatic. It's not it's not a special occasion thing. You're not getting dressed up to go to the opera or your Broadway show. You're just going because that's what you do.
Yeah, I love
And
that.
that is the idea that enchants me.
Okay, you can have Paris. I'd probably include Rome in that
We'll
because
always have Paris, Mark. I mean, come on.
I was very surprised by Rome because everything seems to be in walking distance. It's
Yeah.
fantastic, wonderful. Okay, Paris it is then, which is great. Now, do you have as a spectator or a participant, do you have a favorite sport?
Hockey. I'm Canadian. Hockey.
So for the benefit of the Brits watching this,
Ice
hockey
hockey.
is not hockey. Not what
Ice hockey. Is
um,
that it? No.
we I think we call it field hockey. It's
No.
and it's murderous. The ball is
No.
like that. It's white and it's heavy.
No. I'm
Ankle
talking ice hockey. I'm talking
ice
Stanley
hockey.
Cup. Yeah.
Stanley Cup stuff. Yeah, I
Yeah,
can't.
absolutely.
I really have tried, but I can never see the puck. It's all so fast. I mean, oh, they scored. Well, I can even
Don't say
see.
that to Canadians. We're like, in America, they actually had for a while, they embedded a chip in the puck so Americans could follow it with a little blue streak on the TV screen. And
Oh,
all of
really?
Canada, yeah, was just screaming, how can you not follow the puck? Right?
Well, perhaps it's because I don't know where it's meant to be.
Well, that's okay. That's okay. The players do. But no,
Yeah.
I grew up in Kingston, Ontario, which is the Kingston Frontenacs are sort of a seeding ground for NHL players. So we went to hockey games constantly
I know.
for juniors and stuff.
It's just not a thing here. I mean, we don't get cold enough to even bother trying to skate.
Yeah.
Anyway, no, that's perfect. You can have hockey.
Okay.
Now, this one's a bit cruel, I'm afraid. I want you to assume that I'm going to limit you to one musical genre for the rest of your life.
Mm-hmm.
What's it going to be?
Just the one.
One musical genre. Yes.
I want the really old style blues. I want Bessie Smith. Um, I want Devil at the Crossroads. That's what I want to live the rest of my life to.
Nice. There are some, yeah. Oh, I should add a question to this.
Okay.
Think artists or pieces you couldn't live without. So Mahler's Second Symphony would be in my list.
Mm-hmm.
Babylon by Bus live album, Bob Marley.
Mm-hmm.
Juan Luis Guerra.
Mm-hmm.
And lovely salsa stuff.
Mm-hmm.
Probably Dream Theater, and progressive rock band. Lead singer's Canadian, by the way.
Fantastic.
They all got together at Berkeley. They've been
Yeah.
together for 30 years now. Incredible musicianship. Hans Zimmer. I've seen Hans Zimmer live twice.
Oh,
I mean,
wow.
like a rock concert.
That's so cool.
Yeah, brilliant stuff. Yeah. So I might add that, to my 5 pieces of music you can't live without. That would be good.
Tragically hip, true Canadian.
Sorry?
Anything by the Tragically Hip, Canadian, absolutely.
I'm going to check them out. Tragically Hip.
Yeah. A friend of mine was in Greece during her gap year, dancing at a club one night. They're all 19, and it quieted down. And then the DJ put on a Tragically Hip song, and all the Canadians lost their minds. And everyone else like, who is this?
Have you heard of Wolfpack?
Yes.
Yeah. They're not a thing over here.
No.
It's really weird. Wolfpack on YouTube live at Madison Square Garden. Oh my word.
Okay.
Brilliant. There's a Russian band as well, who do a tribute show to Chicago.
Oh wow.
Have a look at them. They're brilliant. Leonid
Okay.
and Friends. They're touring in the States, I think. Leonid and Friends.
Okay.
Um, their version of September by Earth, Wind and Fire, which is another one I couldn't live without, by
That's
the
a
way.
great song. And that's coming up. You have to post it on social on September 21st.
Oh, I must.
Yes,
Yes.
you do. You have to put that up. It's the 20th. You don't say anything, just put it up. We all know.
Brilliant. Yes. So, um, yeah, Luke Combs, love it. Just another few things that I wouldn't want to be without. It's very difficult. Anyway, right. This is not on me. No, back on you. Right.
Don't forget
Um,
Leonard Cohen and Katie Lang. I sound like I'm trying to be all like I should have a maple leaf emblazoned on me, but they just have really good talent.
yeah, you do. Okay. So, do you have a favorite visual artist?
Gerard Gauchi.
Who?
Gerard Gauchi.
Gerard
You might know him,
Gauchi.
Gerard Gauchi.
Oh
He
yeah.
designs all the sets for Opera Atelier, and he is a marvelous still life painter in his own right.
Right.
And Gerard's works are I can't breathe when I think about his work because it is so lush and so beautiful.
Mm,
Um, and again, I can't do that. I've always said to him, he did a marvelous series years ago called Banquet, and just looking at this 9 by 6 canvas of a still life, and it wasn't like a fancy still life. It was just stuff, but it was ornate and candlesticks and this from Baroque, but there's also like a clear plastic bag of apples lying there. And you're like, how did you paint a clear plastic bag, right? I've always said the moment I win the lottery, I'll be knocking on his agent's door
nice. Love
saying, I
that.
will take this and this and this. I have, from working there, I have multiple printout photocopies because, of course, we needed color photocopies of the set pieces to figure out what they were going to do with them. I so made an extra copy. They're all over my house.
Mm. Brilliant. Love that. Excellent. Um, okay, next up is going to be a favorite play or musical.
Rent,
Mm,
favorite musical. They just did it at Stratford. My friend Tom Allison directed, and it was marvelous.
mm.
Absolutely marvelous. Do you want to play as well, or
Yeah, if you've got one.
Crackwalker, Judith Thompson? Um, because it was the first play I saw when I came to Toronto to go to theater school. And we were going to the theater, and it was 19, right? And we had to take the subway and then walk a bit and then get there. It was an adventure sort of thing. And we
Mm,
got there, and the play was Crackwalker. First of all, it's a brilliant play. And Randy Houston and Ron White were like, oh my God, brilliant. But it also takes place in Kingston, Ontario, where I'm from. And I didn't realize that until they started talking about play. But
nice.
yeah,
Mm,
but it will always
fantastic.
be a favorite.
And a favorite movie.
Gone with the Wind.
Okay, that was the surprise of the evening.
There you go. It's not based on subject matter. It's not based. There are so many issues with the movie and the book, and I get that. But if I look at it from a filming perspective, if I look at it from Vivian Lee being the perfect Scarlett O'Hara, to the fact that the burning of Atlantis scene was actual fire.
Mm,
They just burned a bunch of old sets. You know,
mm,
oh, that's safe. And just picturing someone, okay, people, one take, you
yeah,
know. And it's sweeping. It's count the times they use shadow, that sort of chilling use of shadow. I think I was
yeah.
up to 15 when I stopped counting. And I'm looking at it from both the concept of, oh, this is so beautiful, I mean, Southern Belle, but at the same time having knowledge of the realities and actualities behind that,
Mm,
right from the Civil War straight through to Hattie McDaniel not being allowed to go to the Academy Awards. It was segregated. Like,
mm,
problems, guys. Yeah.
mm. Love
Um,
that choice. That's a great choice. Have you watched The Russian Ark?
no, I must now.
It's one take. It's over an hour, and it's filmed in the palace in St. Petersburg.
Oh, the Russian Ark?
The Russian Ark, yeah,
Like
ARK.
as in Noah's Ark?
Yes, I don't know how much of it will be on YouTube, but it's a long film and it's in one take. and you never see it, and you never see a camera.
Oh, see, I need to watch that if for no other reason than watch it with my husband. He's a former film guy, so
Oh,
he's
he'll love that. And
Yeah.
have you heard Beethoven Stretch?
No?
Beethoven Stretch, I think you'll find it on YouTube or Spotify. Somebody has stretched Beethoven's Ninth Symphony to 36 hours long without changing the pitch.
I gotta check that out.
It's
But then again,
so a single chord might last 40 seconds.
see, and that's something I'm going to automatically post to social media for my symphony people.
There we go.
You know, it's not. I always say to people, it's the 411. You cannot ask people to buy a ticket until you've given them 4 bits of information that have nothing to do with you taking their money.
I'm with you all the way. My motto for building our network is give until they give back.
That's a much better place than copy that.
Apparently, and someone's done a study, 2 things that occurred to me. If you cold call somebody, only 3% of the people who you call will have the money and the need. Okay. You can't sell a car to a guy who bought a car yesterday. The other thing I realized that is most engagement happens between the 7th and the 12th interaction with a new person.
Yeah.
And most of us stop at 3.
Oh, I know. I tell my students that because I tell them it used to be 3 times. It's now up over 7.
Yeah.
You know.
But let me forget minimalist marketing.
Minimalist marketing. Writing that down.
So okay. So we're there really. So
here we are.
There we go. Apart from me, who was the last person to make you laugh?
My stepson this morning.
Brilliant. Love it. Okay. Now this is super fast. I'm going to give you 2 options and you have to choose one or the other.
Okay.
Rapid fire. Okay. Tea or coffee?
Coffee.
Radio or TV?
TV.
Heels or trainers?
Trainers.
Car or motorcycle?
Motorcycle.
Comedy or horror?
Comedy.
Concert hall or sports stadium?
Concert hall.
Cat or dog?
Dog. Test
the water or dive in the deep end?
Dive in the deep end.
Bits or no bits in your orange juice? Library or museum?
Sorry, which?
Library or museum?
Museum.
Beethoven or Mozart?
Mozart.
Shower or bath?
Shower.
Be embarrassed or be afraid?
Be afraid.
Cooking or being cooked for?
Cooking.
Fiction or non-fiction?
Non-fiction.
Android or iPhone?
Android.
Start immediately or wait till the last minute?
Start immediately.
That's so not me. Science or history?
Science. No, history. Oh, history. These are hard.
New York or LA?
New York.
Circle or square?
Circle.
Early morning or early night hours? Sorry.
Early morning.
Messy or tidy desk?
Tidy.
Me too. See the future or change the past?
See the future.
Bedroom door, open or closed?
Closed.
Red or white wine?
Red.
Batman or Superman?
Super.
Numbers or words?
Words.
Basketball or baseball?
Basketball.
Mild or spicy?
Mild.
Opera or chamber music?
Opera.
Whiskey or rum?
Whiskey.
Stripes or spots?
Stripes.
And finally, gold or silver?
Silver.
Love it. Thank you so much, Sue. That was good
You're
fun.
so welcome. Some of those questions.
I know. I do throw a few.
A Virgo, messy desk. Come. Do you not see my slight heart attack?
Yeah.
And when I say a Virgo, by the way, I have to tell you this. The reason I'm also delighted to be doing this interview today is that it's my birthday tomorrow.
Oh, technically, I think given the time difference, doesn't that make it your birthday now over here?
You should, but why not? So
Happy
this
birthday.
has been an absolute treat. do it.
No, it's my pleasure. So a couple of things. First is wherever this appears, there'll be links to you and yours. And so thank you so much for doing this. But I wanted to tell you briefly about minimalist marketing.
Please do.
Most of us do this.
Yep.
Too many products, too many audiences, too many channels.
Yep.
And we need to make like Apollo 11, right? So I read a lot of Seth Godin. I used to organize his London meetups.
Yeah, absolutely.
And he said to me once, find your smallest viable audience and become the best option for it.
Yep.
And that was like standing on a rake. Excuse me 1 second.
Sure. Hello, puppers.
So I translated that into minimalist marketing. So your homework for our next meeting.
Okay.
I want you to imagine you've got 3 buckets in front of you.
Yep.
And you can only put one thing in each bucket.
Yep.
In the first bucket goes one very specific product or service that you offer, perhaps even one aspect of it. And in the second bucket is your smallest viable audience for that service.
Okay.
And then your third bucket, and this is where it becomes both terrifying and liberating, is one channel only through which to reach those people. Okay. Now, I did this a couple of years ago, and it worked. The trick is you have to set targets. And until you get to those targets, you're not allowed to add anything to those buckets.
Yeah.
So that's minimalist marketing for you.
I like that a lot.
Next time we chat.
When I started my business, I did something like that I didn't know was minimalist marketing at the time. But I was ready to start my business, and I thought, well, how do I do this? Hi, I'm a consultant, right? How do you do that? And I went through a list and I picked 12 companies that I really wanted to work with. And I sent them each a card, like a foldy card with my new logo on it. And it said inside, I've opened my own business. This is what I do now. I want to work with your company in some capacity at some point. I just wanted to let you know I am open for business. Handwritten, signed, blah, 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 mailed to them. And it went well. I got some clients that are there. And 3 years later, one of the clients said, your card is still on my desk. And now I have a project.
Oh, that's an amazing story.
Right? Yeah, right? I was so pleased.
Very cool. That is just that's brilliant. I love that. Well, then, and if you can help your clients do things like that, then they've got the right person on their team. Sue, thank you so much for doing this.
Thank you.
On off, but I think we'll close this. I'll just stop recording. So please connect with Sue wherever you find her. But Sue, in the meantime, thank you so much.
Thank you so much. It's been a pleasure, Mark. Thanks for everyone who's watching.